how are you? I hope everything is all right. Well, in today's lesson, we're going to look at the past continuous tense, its form and its uses. So let's get started. Okay, let's study first the form of the past continuous, also called the past progressive. As you see on the board, you have three sentences, okay, interrogative sentence, negative sentence, and affirmative sentence. So let's study them together. First, were you sleeping yesterday morning? Because I called you, but you didn't answer. Were you sleeping yesterday morning? So this is a question. So as you see in a question, we start with the auxiliary were. Okay? So we have were, okay, plus subject, okay, plus present participle or verb ing form, okay, question mark. Were you sleeping? So here, because we have you, we use were. If I have, for example, I or he or she or it, we are going to use was, okay? So the past continuous is formed with using was or were as auxiliaries plus verb ing form. Clear? In a question, we start with were or was. Were goes with they, with you, and with we. Was goes with I, he, she, and it. Then you have subject plus verb ing plus question mark. Were you sleeping yesterday morning? No, I was not sleeping. Okay? So this is a negative sentence. So the past continuous in a negative sentence, okay, is formed with, you have subject plus was, okay, or were. So was with I, he, she, and it. Were with you, we, and they. Plus not plus verb ing form. Okay? Was not, were not, or the short form of was not is wasn't or weren't. Okay? Plus verb ing form. Okay? Good. No, I was not sleeping. I was working on the computer. So this is a positive sentence or an affirmative sentence. So the past continuous is formed with the subject, okay, plus was or were plus verb ing form. Okay? So was or were plus verb ing form. Okay, as an example, let's study the past continuous of the verb to eat in affirmative, negative, and interrogative sentences. Okay? So as you see, in the affirmative form, you have subject plus was or were plus verb ing. I was eating, he was eating, she was eating, it was eating, but we were eating, you were eating, and they were eating. Clear? Then in the negative form, you have subject plus was not or wasn't plus verb ing, or were not or weren't plus verb ing form. I wasn't eating, he wasn't eating, she wasn't eating, it wasn't eating, but we weren't eating, you weren't eating, they weren't eating. In a question, we have the inversion of the subject. We start with the auxiliary was or were plus subject plus verb ing form Question mark. So was I eating? Was he eating? Was she eating? Was it eating? Were we eating? Were you eating? Were they eating? Question mark. Right? Good. So as you see, the verb plus ing is formed with the base verb plus ing form. Okay, so the majority of verb, you use the base verb plus ing form. But with some verbs, there are rules that you have to retain. As a reminder, so in general, verb ing is formed with the base verb plus ing. For example, play, playing. Okay, play plus ing form. Study, studying. Clean, cleaning. Okay, but there are some verbs with one syllable. Okay, you have, for example, swim. It's one syllable, and then you have CVC, consonant, vowel, consonant. W is a consonant, I is a vowel, M is a consonant. So verbs with one syllable and CVC, you double the last consonant plus ing form. For example, here swim, you double M plus ing form. Get also is one syllable, and then you have CVC, you double T, then ing form. There are also verbs with two syllables, like for example, travel. You have travel, so two syllables. Then when you have the stress on the second syllable in which you have CVC, you double the last consonant plus ing. For example, travel, it's traveling, ling form. Clear? Verbs ending with the vowel E. Okay, so when you want to add ing, you delete the E. Okay, like in have and dance, you delete the E. So have, having, dance, dancing, only ing form. Okay, then you have verbs like die. So you have two vowels, I and E. You delete the I and E and you replace it with Y plus ing form. So dying, D-Y-I-N-G. For example, lie, same. So you change the I and E into Y plus ing form. Right? Good. Another important point that you have to remember is that non-action verbs can't be used in any continuous tense. For example, here in the verb to be, I was at home when you arrived. Okay, so we don't say I was being at home when you arrived. It's incorrect. The same for verbs of senses. For example, the verb to taste. You cannot say, for example, the food was tasting delicious. You say it tasted delicious. Clear? Good. Now let's shift to the uses of the past continuous. The first use of the past progressive or continuous is to indicate that an action was continuous or progressive at a specific time in the past. For example, I was having dinner at 6 p.m. yesterday. So the situation is past and you have a specific time in the past. Okay, so at this time yesterday, I was having dinner. So the action of have is continuous, okay, or was continuous at 6 p.m. yesterday, right? Good. The second use of the past continuous is to indicate that a longer action in the past was interrupted by a short action. When we say a long action, we mean past continuous. When we say short action, it's simple past. For example, they were watching TV when the light went off. So here the action of watch is continuous or was continuous in the past until another action took place. Okay, so the light went off, a sudden, okay, cut of the action of watch. Clear? Using when. Right? The same for while he was sleeping, Somebody broke the window. So the action of sleep was continuous until another action cut the first action that was long, which is here the action of break. Okay, so here you have the action was continuous and then was cut by a short action. Here you have another example that shows that a longer action was cut with a shorter action. We were playing basketball when Amin fell on the ground. So the verb play is continuous or was continuous in the past. It's a longer action that was cut by the action of fell. Short action, so simple past of fall, fell. Okay? By means of when. So as you see here, you have a longer action, when, plus short action or simple past. Verb, simple past. Second, Amin fell on the ground when we were playing basketball. So here you have the short action, then you have when, then you have when we were playing. So here when, it's plus past continuous. So you have to bear in mind that when can be followed by either verb simple past or verb continuous, unlike while. So with while, it's always plus past continuous. For example, while we were playing basketball, Amin fell on the ground. While we were playing. So it's a plus past continuous. Right? Good. The third use of the past continuous is to indicate that two actions were happening at the same time, simultaneously. These actions are parallel. For example, while I was reading, my brother was doing his homework. So here you have two actions that were happening at the same time. So you have reading and doing. They are happening simultaneously in the past. The action of reading and the action of doing, they are taking place at the same time in the past. Another example, we were studying English while they were playing football. Okay, so you have studying is long and also playing is long. So these actions are parallel in the past. They are happening at the same time in the past by means of while. So here you see the use of while. So while is always followed by past continuous. Okay? Past continuous. Clear? Good. Last use of the past continuous is to describe the atmosphere at a particular time in the past. So we use a series of parallel actions. Okay? For example, yesterday I had lunch at the restaurant. Okay? So the action of have started and finished in the past. That's why we use the simple past. Some people were eating, others were waiting for their order. Some customers were chatting on the phones, others were complaining about the bad service. So as you see here, we are describing the atmosphere at the restaurant by a series of parallel actions. Okay, when we say parallel, they are happening at the same time. So you have eating, waiting, chatting, complaining. Of course, we use the auxiliary here were because you have some people, some customers. So, okay, dear friends, I hope you understand the many uses of the past continuous or progressive as well as its form. Meet you soon with another interesting lesson. Bye-bye.